Okay, public comment. Okay.
Okay, hold on. We have some attendees, so let me get to everybody. And I'm just going to take them in the order that I see them.
Okay.
So let's see. Chris, can you unmute yourself? The person named Christopher. And let me see if there's a way that I can do it. Hi, Christopher. Yes.
Hi. Is now time for public comment?
Yes, please do so.
Okay. Hi, my name is Christopher Hansen. I live in Urbana. This is my first time attending or viewing a Civil Service Commission special meeting, so I'm not, or meeting at all, I guess. I'm not very familiar with your board, and there's very little documentation on what you guys do, but I've had, as an Urbana resident of almost 20 years now, in the past few years, I've had pretty significant exposure to the officials and employees and staff of the city of Urbana. And I've submitted quite a number of FOIA requests, and I've tried to investigate a pretty significant number of incidents where there were issues of staff misconduct. And my feeling overall is that the city of Urbana, the legal staff, the employees themselves, the general posture of the entire city is self-serving and to protect itself. And there is very little sense of personal responsibility and accountability. And I kind of wonder what role the Civil Service Commission might play in solving that problem. There doesn't seem to be any real mechanism for holding any employees accountable. And I don't just mean in terms of obvious misconduct, that is one issue, but also just doing their jobs. I've been had some exposure to our human relations officer, Vasilia Clark, and her performance in her job position is just absolutely abhorrent. She has not done many of the assigned tasks related to the Urbana Civilian Police Review Board. She frequently ignores citizens who seek help in terms of the Police Review Board as well as the Human Relations Ordinance. And it's not just myself, I've also spoken with other residents who have the same experience. And the result is that citizens have very, very little access to their own government. And I wonder, what do you see your role as a board in solving a problem like that? So you guys are, obviously you're kind of writing up the job descriptions for these positions. And those descriptions are always very flowery and sound great in intent. But my position is that it would seem to me, whatever you title a position, whether it's community outreach coordinator or whatever, however you title that position, that person will end up frequently doing the opposite of what their title indicates. I've had quite a bit of exposure with Preston James. I think he was the community outreach manager or something like that, as well as Todd Rent. All of these figures, in my experience, posture themselves in a way to shut out citizens from their own government. And the function, the purpose of their employment begins to become not to solve problems, but to cure the issue that there appears to be a problem, which is not the same thing. So as you're, I guess, modifying the description of a new employee position, community engagement coordinator, I think, I wonder if you'll ask the question, how are we going to make sure that this person actually does the thing that we intend them to do? And that's what I have to say. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Christopher, thank you so much. And I'm sorry, when you first started, you went out a little bit. Could you repeat your last name?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you on that audio.
Oh, I'm sorry. When you first started, I did not get your last name for the public record. I just want to make sure that I get that right.
Oh, Christopher Hansen. I'm pretty sure
Hansen.
You've emailed me before.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that with an E-N or O-N?
E.
Ian. Okay, thank you so much, Christopher. Let's go again. I'm just going in the order that I'm seeing people. Concerned citizen, would you like to unmute yourself? Concerned citizen, do you have anything that you'd like to say? Okay, I'm going to take that as a no, and let us continue on. And you'll have to excuse me, this doesn't always cooperate the way I want it to. The attendee named UPTV switcher.
No, I don't have any comment.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. And then the last person, they are named AUD_1. Is there anything that you'd like to say today? Okay, I'll take that as a no. All right, and I believe, has everyone had a chance to speak? Okay, all right, I believe that ends our public comment time.
Okay, then moving on. Action items.
Okay, Famie Fletcher.
All right. So the first item that you've got on your agenda for action is modifications to the community outreach coordinator position. So essentially, what we did, the modifications that you see here are the result of a really kind of strategic analysis that we did in trying to figure out what it is that we really want this position to do. What duties do we really want this position to perform, and making sure that we are describing those things in a way that make it very clear. One of the biggest changes that you'll see is that outreach has been changed to engagement, and that was a very strategic decision because we want this position, the person who gets this position, not just to outreach to the community, but we want that person to build and maintain relationships, which is the very first change that you see under the essential function. I kind of describe it in my mind as, instead of an outreach, we want this to be a two-way street. We want to be very clear that the person who gets this position is maintaining and fostering relationships with the community and our community partners. One of the other changes that you'll see is in the job requirements. The experience now encompasses social services and really puts a big emphasis on public relations education. We really want to reach out to a large, diverse pool of applicants who will have the experience that will be needed in order to be knowledgeable and sensitive to the needs of the community in the way that they'll be interacting with the community.
Okay. Any questions?
I just noticed a typographical error. The header on each page still says Community Outreach Coordinator.
Oh, thank you for that.
Need to
I will
correct
fix that.
But I would move to adopt the amendment to this job description.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved to second. Any questions? Okay, hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Okay. Next item, item B.
Okay, and then the next item you'll see is modifications to the fire prevention and education officer. The only change that's made here is in the job requirements. There has been a modification to change the certification of Fire Officer 1 from being required upon hire to being required to obtain the certification within 12 months of hire. And essentially a big part of what is feeding this change is that classes have been postponed or canceled because of COVID. And so we want to make sure that we're not eliminating qualified candidates because they're not able to obtain this class.
I would
questions?
No, I don't. I'd move to adopt the modification to this job description.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved to second. Any questions? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Okay. Information item.
I don't have any information items to share at this meeting.
Okay, so our next meeting is slated for when?
It is slated for 2 weeks from today, June 24th at 4 p.m. And I anticipate that we'll be remote as well, so we will get that information out just as soon as our agenda is ready.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good? All right. Hearing none, the meeting stands adjourned.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you, guys.